Once more, onto the fest. Previously, certain numbers exceeded or underseeded, proceeded, subseeded. There's got to be some sort of converse point. Previously, several numbers went well outside their specifications. One being the level of this party, if expected to confront the Seal Guardians in the Forest of Moor. Efforts were taken off camera to correct that discrepancy. The other was the generosity of the audience, which met and exceeded expectations, succeeded at meeting expectations, and beyond, in funding the QuickFest drive. Whereas the Four Job Fiesta is an annual charity fundraiser benefiting Child's Play built around gimmick runs, Pt.5, etc. And for Side B of this year, second lap, etc., raising up funds, which have now hit the line of guaranteeing that at the end of Fiesta 2016, I will be running an exhibition event wherein I destroy each section of the final boss by way of the Quick Leak exploit. An effort that will take some time, live, on camera. Several weeks from now. Well, several weeks from the time of this recording. Potentially very little time. You could have already gone off and seen the record, depending on when you're viewing this eventually later in the future. For now, though, that number has exceeded the limits of that old bar over there, so let's just get this old progress bar here. That's obsoleted. Let's just kind of grab that and shove it out of the way. Yeah, you're old news. Get out of here. Stretch goals. So, per the newly updated and enhanced infographic, for the remaining runtime of the Fiesta, the pledge drive will continue until I think it belongs vaguely there-ish? I'll verify exactly where it belongs there, but in the hopes of perhaps bringing the eventual donation total up to a cool $750 for each $125 in excess of the original goal pledged to the QuickFest. I will additionally, by way of Quick Leak, destroy one of the bonus bosses. Ultimate Sportsman Omega, and the divine avatar of all things dragon, Shinryu. Anyway, on with the fest. Where our party of Blue Mage, Ninja, Ranger, and your name is not important, Red Mage, had reached the Great Forest of Moor, in possession of the appropriate shenanigans by which to dismantle the boss, but not enough raw math to make it particularly convenient to execute that in a statistically relevant span of time. Also not enough health to survive any of the crystal's berserk moves, so both of those have been corrected. team can now survive at 1 round of anger, which is enough to recover or finish off, and has moved from like a 7 or 8% accuracy on Deathclaw to more like 12. I also remembered that I have this thing. The instant death procs off the killer bow will be quite capable of leveling a Seal Guardian. Now, since neither of you are going to be using air attacks, just take knives instead, so we get more free hits avoided. I also went and updated everyone's armor, so they're a little bit tougher. We're up to more Diamond Standard now. This should go more smoothly. We'll see you. Let the ritual resume. Let's see. First off, alright, all of them missed. Good. Good and fair. They can be blinded, but that pesky magic evade gets in the way. Crystals are slippery things. Yeah, may as well start throwing the protects down. Actually, aim might bypass weapon procs. I shouldn't be using aim. Rely on regular swing. Okay, it's good. First crystal down. Should be able to land like 2.5 Death Claws in the time it takes to drain his MP. There we go. Much more smoothly. The difference that math makes. But just considering also that for safety and reliability's sake, I should be only throwing the Death Claw when I know I have somebody ready to immediately follow up on it. Otherwise, the handful of combat ticks between turns could be the right window of opportunity for the crystal to get mad. The immeasurable fury of the elements. Alright, very good. Now we're just down to you. Who I would like to get mad, have breathe on me, and then kill. You contain powerful arts. I am prepared to learn. Teach us, wise guardian. What is true air? There we go. Yeah, armor upgrades are a big deal. That's just a couple points magic defense difference. Just mats out to saving like 200 health. Just the armor upgrades alone probably would have made the arrow survivable. Levels gave me the accuracy I needed to make that happen in a reasonable time frame. There we go, Air 3. Refga. Yeah, looking at it now, that is definitely about the right position for the 25 out of 250, so 1/5 of half the bar, so 1 Omega through the sports zone. That is the current progress level. Hear that elemental power sizzle. Man, there's just so many layers to all of these sounds that vanish in the GBA rendition. Yeah, that ding a bit ago was just me muting my microphone through that segment. Sometimes I will get the complaint beep depending on exactly what I had in focus when I hit the key. X-Death. I actually don't know if he has a math compatible level. They may have insulated him from math. Regardless, let's give him the shocks. Despite this being, like, a scripted cutscene fight thing that you can't lose, it is still damage-driven. So, you need to take your Gallop and have him pummel the necessary health out of X-Death to trigger the scripts. It will take, at most, 8 Dark Shocks to reduce anything to level 1. I feel like refilling mana just for purposes of... It's a fair question. I wonder... He's at relatively ordinary levels. Go ahead and sample the Eroga. No, don't have enough mana for that either. Interesting. Very interesting. Fascinating. Well, there's a skip. I just saved about 2 minutes of dialogue. That's one way to cancel the script. On the off chance that this is someone's first Fiesta, normally you have a bunch of dialogue between them as you pummel X-Death down, and then only after a while you manage to defeat X-Death in the fight, which then he's wounded badly enough that he's forced to retreat from back in cutscene world here. However, Gallop has been mortally injured in the process. Instead, we have perhaps shocked and confounded him with our gallant strategies. I did not expect exploding would cancel our way out of that fight. Apparently it bypasses Gallup's immortality for that battle. Plus, anything that would apply death directly to the character would likewise bypass that. Speed strats. Alternatively, given what we know of Extet's schemes and plans and machinations, he doesn't have any reason to defeat the Light Warriors here other than preventing them from showing up later and interfering further. So maybe when Galuf exploded, he just wrote us off as a threat and went home. Now, I've never exploded, but I know exactly how it would feel. Trust me, I know. It is a good thing that doing that to Galuf did not somehow, bounce us back to needing to load a save and fight the crystals again. That would have been harsh. Instead, we're fine. Everything is fine. Alright, child, this is your hairpin. You've inherited it. We were able to successfully extract it from the body of your grandfather. It's that the more you move around, the deeper it's going to dig its way into your skull. Just let it nestle itself in there. Once it cuts all the local nerves, you stop noticing it. It belongs there now. Welcome to the Light Warriors. How much? We have a decent amount of cash on hand. I should go pile up on scrolls. Scrolls are good stuff. And then otherwise we are clear to proceed to Meatport. That'll do. And we're about to get White Wind as well, so we're gonna be in pretty good shape for healing indefinitely. We got White Wind coming up just inside of the Meat Fortress. White Wind just inside the. We already got Transfusion. We can pick up Flare. That's another of the mats, as long as I make the party math targetable again, which is a couple levels off. Actually, just one from where we are now, although this team, as with most teams, would appreciate having some levels for fighting the X-Men. Here. White Wind, Flare, possibility of Doom and Roulette once we get inside. Although those, both of those I think are off of Ed himself, so we aren't going to be going out of our way to secure them. Let's just stop and take advantage of the healing water while it still projects the illusion of being healing water. Before we break the spell and it turns back into acid. Although, who knows, maybe the digestive juices of a castle could have powerful medicinal properties. Those wishing to add support to the stretch goals of the QuickFest. And okay, here we go. Here is a party that can facilitate our needs. Pledge by way of the Four Job Fiesta website, and then announce your donation by tweeting at Gilgabot, featuring hashtag pledge and hashtag QuickFest, and mention how much you have given so that I know what to count and place on the bar. There we go, the Rage Rabbit back there. That's our person of interest today. There we go. Thank Muchly. What a good rabbit. White Wind. Long-standing, amazing blue spell. Heal all friendly targets by your current HP. That, particularly when paired with Mighty Guard, means that the Blue Mage is just an amazing source of survivability. It's an amazing source of everything, but man, just two great recovery and defense options. Mighty Guard, which we won't be able to get for a fair while, is all targeting Shell, Protect, and Float. So the party is just right away rendered immune to earthquakes and ends up with effectively doubled health, because you are taking half damage from all physical and all magical. It only won't help you against things like just direct number damage. And I think Shell also improves your magic evade, or hinders the magic accuracy of inbound attacks to be more strictly accurate. It's effects that you can get via white and time magic, but so many of them compressed into a single action. It's just amazing for your economy. Okay, aim does not prevent critical strikes. Good to know. Won the battle against these early trash mobs, several of which I'm going to be crushing through in order to prep somebody to receive math and just provide further insurance against things deeper up into the castle. But more importantly, further victory against the stretch goals. As another $50 is pledged. Grab that bar. Just slide that up another 2 omegas. Yeah, there-ish. Galuf just quickly ports in to get Kelgar up to date. Ghost life is way better than old man life. Definite trade-up. A triumph of flesh. We're back. And within 1,000 exp of just having the blue mage be a valid math target. Here we'd just be going for math 3. Actually, I think Magic Durgan there might also have something, depending. Not sure if I'd have to control him or just approach with appropriate vulnerability. Yes, the Durgan allegedly has another of our maths. And it's one I'm targetable by right now. Alright, clear the field. We need to set the stage. Living the dream. That holy wind. Yes, on display here, there are animated parts to the Meat Fort fight background. And they raise an interesting question of whether the animations are there or not in the GBA version of the background. Because I believe they're all above where the cutoff line would be. So that just leaves me wondering if the animation is in the data, but just obscured by the edge of the field, or if it would in fact be present if you, like, if they bothered to cut the frames out to save space, if out of, like, the knowledge that they wouldn't be seen. Right, let me go check the algorithm guide. Let me peer into your mind and read your destiny here. When do you use the math? Hello, Magic Durgan. Let's see. Fight. Air 3 fighter specialty. Fight, guard off, math, or nothing. Okay. 1/3 of the time, every 4th move. Anytime, friend. Okay, that's you choosing. Well, that's the start of your script. That you've done that. What's next for Durgan? There's step 2. And there's the math. Bless you, Magic Dragon. The power of old. There, now we have general purpose math. Just about. Anything with an even numbered level, we can put old on. And it will then tick down through every value. And thus, with appropriate follow-up timing, you can hit them with any math you'd like. This means that potentially anything is vulnerable to math, unless there exists something that, just musing on here, if there is an odd number which will never get dark sparked into an even number all the way down its path to 1, which I'm not sure if that exists in the scope of 1 to 255. It might merit investigation. However, age brings potent math. Also, yeah, these guys are targetable by gravity, so... There you go, they're 36. The arsenal of math is strong. Anything outside of a creature that is already level 1. I think, aside from that case, we now have general-purpose math weaponry. Just regarding these fellows, what's their magic number? Dark Warlocks, also 36. Or not? Was that mislabeled? Did I read the wrong row there? Dark Wizards. Strange. There have been errors on this printout elsewhere before. Anything is possible. Oh wait, maybe, yeah, they're level 36 but immune to gravity. That's what's happening. I'm just not bypassing their resistance. That would do it. Alright, Kara is now a proper target for Math 3, and no one else is a target for Math 3, so I may just start running away from everything until we reach an appropriate donor of math. Right, escaping things in Meatfort is tough. Meatfort doesn't want you to get away. It wants you to learn. I may have no choice but to move up to higher math. Hitting level 30 in here is not difficult. Usually preferred. Man, I finally have a reason to go get that bow that's behind all the goo up on the later floor. I'll still prefer to run away from things, because meat fights are a slog. I'm to take a dive. The ghost bow. Very nice. Bandel Quarrs. Interesting rendition of the name. Adamagons. They provide the necessary gruff, no-nonsense leadership to survive as ragtag fugitives. Thinking about if I want either of the treasures. One of them is a katana. The other is a big sword? Like the other kind of big sword. The non-curved kind. I feel like this moves slower in this version than it does in the GBA. Slower or like more discreet? Yeah, a knight sword and a katana. That's best. Fortunately, this team is well past the point where a jackanape is not a threat. For reference, each of the bonus bosses should add about 2.5 hours of quick league time. Alright, there's dragons on this floor. And dragons... Actually, I'm not sure if Red Dragon will use offensive. Third math. There we go, the feature of this bow. It will at times proc rapid fire. This fellow isn't letting us go anywhere. And is not divisible by 4. Right. Air. I have a brute force option. Or perhaps use it when it is fitting. It's usually fitting. Very few situations that air can't deal with. It's the nature of gas to fill space. You know what? Sure, let's switch these two. a blue-wielding ninja, and a blue mage with throw. And the need to sort out all of my equipment again. The usual. Yeah, that's alright. There, now we have more suppliers of blue. And we have some throws boosted by proper magic. Potent scrolls. Yes, for viewers wondering, there's no robot involved in it. Well, there's the Fiesta bot that's keeping track of when people say pledge at it that I'm using to aggregate messages. But as far as keeping track of those messages, noting totals, moving the bar, that's all being done manually, case by case. There is one human in that cycle, right here. Hello. Bro, please. We need you entirely in the game right now, Krill. Alright, maybe I'll put her in the back row again after we escape this. The good stuff. One of our ways to insulate the chicken knife. Of course, it's up against rapid fire, so that's not much of an option at all. Yeah, scrolls are pretty great. They're like a 2.5 on the like 1, 2, 3 hour scale. They're halfway between bruh and god. Hello, old friend. Save point adjacent to the end of Meat Fort. Here we stand with 2 vulnerable to Math 3. We have a Greg to fight, and yeah, then we're on our way. Collect our complimentary Fuma. Alright, I find Greg. During which someone did the good and charitable thing of throwing on a quick 4 and 20 to knock the QuickFest total off of any semblance of a clean, crisp number. Marvelous. A humble smidge of progress for the bar. And at last, the legendary blade. "100 attack power. Excellent. What a boon." Who is... Alright, yeah, this is Crow's turn. Alright, let's go ahead and dare. We'll see if present levels and concentrations of math suffice. So this Ed is level 66. Which we cannot spark to death. But we could ult him. At which point, I have no idea how fast ult operates, so it would just be a complete toss-up as to when we'd be able to slip the death in. Still, it's feasible. Nice! Condemn! Alright, that's... So he could give us level 3 Flare and Roulette, but I am not holding out for them. Condemn is already a nice reward that's worthwhile. Let us start the clock. I mean, that's a good air horn, but come on, you know, come on, give it... Closer, but... That's the one! World 2X Death's a real hard boss, everybody! How do I divide by tree? Normally, X-Death is an extremely difficult boss, but hey, you know what's one tick after 66? Death. Yeah, there are several late-game, high-convenience sources of blue magic where we can just get the full spellbook topped off. Like, in particular, we can get our remaining math ability off of level triggers, level checkers, you know, local math bots. There are math dispensers located between dimensions. Damn. I was expecting Ed to be, you know, the usual brutal Stonewall and end up being something to really struggle against and serve as a good cutoff point for the night when he was finally down, but damn. Math. I guess we go for the pyramid? Festivity. Yeah, this team will be good for Antline. No concerns there. But man, normally I stumble into this castle just completely depleted after regular old Ed fight. I triumphantly return, dragging the corpses of the local princesses. They'll be fine. Just apply the feathers. Cards. Man, the pirate crew got the real short end of this world-merging thing. This was a sea. Like, their cove that they anchored in was around here. Well, guess you're regular bandits now. Unless they can work out some sort of land boat to pirate from. Or if we pass them an airship. Like a tiny sheltered valley in the middle of a mountain range. That would be a great airship dock for crime. Yeah, by the way, Antlion. Antlion's number is 34. Come on, don't be like that. Alright, that's what other ones would call Discord, and is his level having ability. He too was versed in some math. Just verifying. Huh, he is actually protected. Of all the things to be safe from the claw. Antlion. Camp Lion. Farewell, friend. They just had to stand our ground and show that we weren't worth the effort. It's a scavenger. It doesn't have the instinct for protracted battle. Just leave it a way to escape, and once you've demonstrated your strength, it will take it. Indeed, it is quite shameful that we abandoned our good friend and valued party member, the Red Mage. What would we have done without you in this or other perilous situations, good friend Red Mage? Bird is happy, everyone's happy. Yeah, that's good. They set up the worlds that I can't wander off past this point. Yeah, and there's barriers elsewhere that will get voided out of the way in a later cutscene to prevent you from wandering off track. Yes. Void. People routinely joke about the splinter that gets a graphic of a full tree branch erupting out of Krill's leg and so forth. Yeah, I have a splinter. Huge stake of wood, obviously having been driven through the leg. Works as a joke, but come on, folks, pretty reasonably conveyed here that what's happened is yeah, Exdeath was a tiny sliver, and then at this moment chooses to, regenerate and grow back up to his full self for this confrontation. This is even something that was set up as a thing that Exdeath does. Recovering from grievous injury and just, coming back from the brink of death. Regular trees don't work that way. Wizard trees do. Back during when we see the battle between the Dawn Warriors and Exdeath, they have him down for the count, but he's reassembling himself, so they have to do things. They're on a timetable. At Exdeath, he's gonna self-recover. Self-evolve. This whole sequence here and how this patch chose to render it is why one of the old save files you can see on this copy of the game is just called Void. They just stay very consistent through that scene, and I think going forward as well through other conversations. Just having Void in quotes. Like, no one who says it is ever quite comfortable with this word. They don't quite say it. It just stands out. It's not really... It's not really Void, but I guess it's Void. Left is also a weird choice of word for referring to the space between dimensions. He said cleft during the guild fight because, like, in the writing there is a distinction between the space, the weird, space dimension where the final dungeon is, and the true void that exists at the core of it, the void power, the heart, the nothing, the metaphysical concept of emptiness. The cleft is surrounding the void. Yes, the later translations would call it rift instead. Rift, gap, space. Yeah, this whole void in book sequence is probably the other longest cutscene in the span of the game. It doesn't stick out as much as some of the other ones, though, since it's putting a close to the second act, which you're grateful to be out of, and establishing what you're going to do through all of World 3. Yep, pretty straightforward rendition of the sealed book. Yeah, of all the tone and personality that exists in the later official translation, Sage Gito was much missed. His attitude is wonderful. Alright, here we are. Freeman. At Pyramid. I expect I'm gonna kind of sleepwalk through most of Pyramid. At least we'll have the knife. Yeah, I'll just ignore as much of Pyramid as possible just to clear it. Take the appropriate loot, since there is at least very appropriate endgame loot in it. Ordinary slugs. I do wonder if at any point in development they thought that they would have you re-navigate the quicksand, make a dungeon out of the quicksand. That would have been awful. That would have just been the final nail in anything to do with the pyramid. Yeah, we'll get the fancy loot out of the pyramid and get through that, re-secure the airship, and then that'll probably be a decent cutoff point for the session. I am 150% show off. Until somebody learns rapid fire, that will just sit comfortably here. 97, we haven't been too diligent on farming escapes. We'll get there, though. Cowardice to victory. Fear is valor. Yeah, just keep a bunch of those in the bag in reserve. Did they become necessary? There they are. Really, most of the time this party wants to spend in World 3 is just appreciating art. There will be extensive art studies. Yeah, actually, are you guys vulnerable to lightning? Not really. Whatever, good enough. Just some smooth, even application of violence. Yeah, get back to the airship. Have a... I can envision like 3 sessions left of stuff to do for this team. A session of side quests, a session of art appreciation, if I felt like putting that on camera, and then the void. The benefits of a flexible endgame. And a flexible donation tracking system. As a further pledge arrives to throw us up to a crisp and even 600. Bringing the bar to 4 out of 5 Omegas. The rightmost of these boxes. It's one of the robes? Something like that. Either way, Archaeosaur burns nicely. Yeah, there we go. White robe. Right, I have you wielding Excalibur. The legend. The legend. See, that's what everybody gets wrong. The sword is perfectly fine, it's a matter of technique. If you try to wield it like any other broadsword, you're just not gonna get the right positioning. The weight is different. You have to balance it carefully. I don't care what you learned in your fancy fencing academy, none of that holds up in the field where it counts. When you're on the battlefield, you gotta roll with the gunches. Ah, prototype room. Well, not prototypes. Neckhead room. Yeah, Greg was getting the hang of it back when he first picked it up. He was already doing better than a lot of these other, you know nothing fancy big city fencers do when they try to wield the legend. He was making progress. Needed a moment. Once it clicks, once you get it. I mean, the man is no stranger to the gunch. Dream big, little guy. Someday you'll go pro. Yeah, not gonna bother putting it on, but in this version, Thornlet is an artifact of immense power. When placed on a berserker, you can underflow your magic staff and wrap around to ridiculous. Combined with Rune Axe for best effect. I could be rod boosting these too. Seems a little excessive though. Precarious. Oh yes, a possibility that exists for this team. If I ever need to engage in bone strats, White Wind bypasses the undead effect. Since it's just applying a number instead of calculating health calculating negative damage. Or whatever else is going to implement Bone Mail under the hood. And White Wind under the hood. They get along. Yeah, bring the rods into play, see if I can save an action. And promptly run out of mech heads that are in my way. As is proper. Maybe that last one will manage to circle around and come after me once I'm on my way back from the black robe up there. White Wind also bypasses Friendly Reflect. It's compatible with a lot of things. Profoundly agreeable source of health. Another friendly robe. There you are, I knew you'd make it out. This is your big chance, it's your lucky day. Gonna prove you have what it takes to be production model. Up score. And snakes. Just further snakes. Broad boosts are definitely overkill against mummies. Which is all the more reason to do it. Also, forgetting to recover. May want to compensate for that in some way. 8 points in the next room. Pyramid. Pyramid. All contributions to the QuickFest should be announced by way of tweet at FF5 for Futures. The official Fiesta run line. All proceeds aid the children. Pyramid is not helped by having one of the less pleasant tracks. And gobs of unescapable fights. And being trash in general. Pyramid's not good. Nobody likes Pyramid. Pyramid is not helped. Land Lamia's. What is even their deal? Alright, this time let's try to cut a more direct path away from the Thornlet. Get the robe and get out. Yeah, this time a little more of that. The day I claim that second golden hairpin. Mana for days. Yeah, this is a team that'll appreciate elixir spam anyway. Could just as well conduct a harvest. Nearly back. Okay, this is the machine. Kinda caught us from a ways out. The exact spacing on these roving enemy encounters can be weird. Alright, there. Half of pyramid. Go away, Segment. No time for you. No time for any of this. Here. Here we have time. Mana for days. Also, one of those boxes could be something I care about, but pyramid. I just no. Not when we're done with pyramid. Nothing is worth pyramid. There's a bunch of time-consuming traps and unskippable fights. When you're down a party member. Bunch of rude monsters in boxes. Oh, did you think there was treasure here? No, have 4 critical hits to the face. Yeah, they really make it sound like the boss fight's about to happen here, but then they fake you out. Just nope. You've been through pyramid. You've done enough. You've done enough to witness the arrival of another pledge. By which we achieve 5 of 5 Omegas. Let's see if I can one-cycle mill. Or rather, mayor. Mayor Eugene. Ah, that void noise. Yeah, we're about to regain access to the rod shop. So, beyond zero qualms, negative qualms, anti-qualm about breaking through any of our rod reserve. Weapons free. A power staff at some point. That's handy. If that's what you think it is. That's for berserking. To make things very angry with that staff. Alright. Good Eugene. Per usual, reiterated possibility. First time Melusine there is a barrier shifting boss, but always starts set to fire. So if you have big fire damage source, you can just very easily split her in half. Right away, just annihilate. Without mercy. No hesitation, no remorse. Feel only gratitude for the generosity of the viewers, who in this first night of stretch goal have already hit half of the remaining target. We'll just give Quick his opportunity to drive angry, and once the dust settles from that, that'll be a session. Next time, we will begin the roundup of World 3 goods and services. Fiesta.